Welcome to the True Demon Lord Show. I am the True Demon Lord Franco, and if I look and sound terrible, it's because I feel it. So yes, we are going to be talking about my recent 5-0 result at the Coventry 2-day major, which ran alongside the 3-day super major. I think it was 86 players. A lot of the big killers here in the UK were playing the 3-day, but we still had some good players in there. Vic VJ, Andy, KS Cohen, Alex Fowler, so some very good players. Excuse me. So I really wanted to get this filmed essentially the day after coming back, which would have been the Monday. Unfortunately, if you can tell again, the way I look, the way I sound, it's not been a great week for me. I've been very ill. I was ill over the weekend. Started off not too bad on the first game and just progressively got worse. Had a terrible Saturday night with sleep and that, and then on Sunday managed to wheel through it. But how I managed to go with the result I did, feeling how I did, I have no idea. And apparently I play better, I guess, when I'm ill. But yeah, no, we not feeling great. So unfortunately, I've had to film this later in the week. So my memory isn't going to be as crystal because again, a lot of it is now a blur. So I will do my best to go over it, but a lot of people wanted, a breakdown of the event and results as I wanted to do anyway. So I'm going to do my best and try and go as in depth as my sick mind will let me. My sick mind, that sounds wrong. My memory, while being sick, will allow me to do. I am not well. But we are going to do this because I want to get this out to everyone. So we are going to plow through and we are going to get straight into it. So, excuse me, start with my list. So, this is testing for what the World Championships in Atlanta next month. Or actually, it's not even next month now. It is this month in 2.5 weeks, which is just insane. So it's a bit of an offshoot of my LGT list. Definitely some big changes. The idea is I kind of went with more tanky monsters. And kind of built off that as a base. So we got Be'lakor still because I still love Be'lakor. The no shoot bubble was incredibly invaluable this weekend. It was huge in a couple of the matchups. Grand Clean one with the Endless Gift. Still going with the Bile Blade, Bile Sword. I like that combo, and obviously the Grand Clean one is amazing. Keeper Secrets for Soul Stealer, and of course the Aegis for the Pain. She had a great LGT. She also had a great weekend as well. She was my MVP whole weekend. Excuse me. I'm really trying. I'm really trying not to cough down the mic. But she's yeah, she definitely a couple of the games was just an absolute menace. Just showing how tough she really is. She dropped 25 points and put her back in. My issue after LGT was I didn't have that ability to just punch when I really, really needed it. So by bringing her back in, she definitely provided that. 3 Nurgles, same play bearers. I think that's a great base for any demon list. 3 Nurgles give me, answers to scout and infiltrate. Also the -1 to hit aura. And for 40 points, a cheap screening blocking unit. Pretty good. And 10 play bearers, the backfield sticky objective, mid game go up and down and do some point scoring and denial. We know what play bearers are there for. Single beast, so I gave him a test out after their little 5-point drop. Fine, it did the job it needed to do. It's if I'm going to stick with this list, which I like this list a lot, that will probably be the one change I'll make, and I'll go into it at the end of the video. 3 units of 3 fiends, they're really good for loads of things. Playing defensively for the -1 to hit aura or move blocking, keeping around for heroically intervening, filling the midfield and objectives. They're just really, really good. And then 2 units of 3 screamers. I love screamers. Cheap enough, really fast moving bodies for up invuln 3 wounds. They're just very good for what they do. So game 1, we played into Ben Martin and his Goldar. So it was very much a Highlander list. Like no unit was duplicated. Every unit was individual, different, very different to myself, who definitely did a little bit of spamming on some units, but very cool list. So we had the Autarch, way deeper with the Phoenix Gem, so it could get back up when it died. the Avatar, which is a pain in the butt, the Death Jester with Fate's Messenger, who's just a dick. The Farseer on foot, so he gives him the pick a unit and make it minus on the wound. And the Farseer Skyrunner, who picks a unit and gives it reroll hits. Two really good characters. Spirit Seer with the Weeping Stones, the Visarch, you have Rain, 10 Guardians, 5 Rangers, 5 Scorpions, 5 Hawks, 12 Harlequin Troop, which both Yvrain and the Visarch went into. 3 Wind Rider jet bikes, and then 10 Braveguard, who, of course, the Spirit Seer joined. So, very interesting list. Imagine it's here on the right when I show you the pictures and the little diagram that we're going to try out for this tournament recap. I'm going to keep the scores and the breakdown of the scores here on the right hand side. So as you can see, we did win 90 to 88. So very close game. I definitely felt a little bit hard done by middle of the game with something that happened. Then it flipped again and something that went in my favour over Ben. And it ended up pretty much winning me the game. So, you know, we got both ends of the bad luck, good luck. So we were playing Terraform on Sweeping Engagement, which is like the Tetris Dawn. And obviously Terraform, you do actions on the midfield objective, survive for the turn, still hold the objective, and in 2 points of that objective, and your opponent can't terraform. So I went second, and Ben ended up getting Assassination and Area Denial. So Assassination was, you know, he knew that was just going to be some secondary points, some command points, sorry. But for Area Denial, I'm surprised he didn't try and go for it. So let's draw on this. We can actually see what we're doing. So here he's got the Wraithguard and Spirit Seer. So I thought he was going to pull them out to get on that objective there, just tag it and do the Area Denial. But he decided not to. And I think that was just in case he didn't roll well enough on his Phantasm. So if he couldn't get back, I was able to get in maybe with the Keeper up this way, or if I'd pulled Be'lakor, like round, maybe with Warp Surge or Uppy Downy, the Fiends could come through. You know, I could really swamp them. And the Keeper's obviously got a really good profile into the Wraithguard. So was good with a good profile into the Wraithguard, you know, winning them on 4s and 3s, dev wounds, 3 damage all over the place, pretty good AP. So I think he just didn't want to risk that, which is understandable. So he took a 0 secondary first turn. But he had Rangers, which did come out to like here. The Troop ended up coming here. And then he had the Wayleaper that came out over here in this corner. So to be on the objective behind the wall, you've got to be against the wall. And then what he did was he moved the Avatar here. So basically he terraformed with the Wayleaper. And then for me, if I wanted to come up to try and charge the Wayleaper, first of all, we had a line of Rangers here, so I couldn't charge that way. And then he had options from both of the Avatar and the Harlequins. And obviously, if I kill the Wayleaper on a 2+, it gets back up. So it just was not worth me charging it. So I let him have it, which would give him in his second turn, you know, 2 secondary points and 2 sets of secondary and a terraform for the rest of the game, which was not ideal, but as long as I could get mine, that was fine. And then my first turn, so obviously on my deployment here, as you can see, I deployed the Grand Team on here on the right hand side because I knew that he was safe. Like the Wraithguard couldn't reach him, the Avatar couldn't reach him, so I knew he was in a pretty good spot. And if I wanted to move him up, like containment or recover, I could. But going second, we did pick him up and we picked the 3 Screamers out here on the left hand side. And then we dropped the Ground Claymore here on the left hand side, objective middle. On the edge of it, the Fiends that were inside this big building on the left in my corner moved up to here and lined them up against the wall, so they were on the objective. So he's got Strike and Scorpions and Wind Riders behind this objective. We ended up dropping the Screamers behind the Fiends, and then this unit Nurgles here, as you can see in this middle layer on my left, they actually came back, so the Screamers then popped in between those two, so they were sandwiched in between them, so nothing could reach them. because we ended up getting recover and bring it down. So we obviously didn't bring it down at the end of the turn, but recover, we did it with the plague bearers and with this unit of screamers. I knew that if he wanted to come, and then I started recovering with the ground clean one as well, because I knew nothing could shoot the ground clean one that mattered, nothing could get to him in combat that mattered. He was never going to die. He could bring the scorpions forward and charge into the wraiths at the fiends if he wanted to. But where my ground clean one was, it was always going to be able to heroic no matter where he landed, because on this side of the wall he couldn't really get in there properly. So he had to have at least one or two guys on this side, because again I'm against the wall to hold it. And because of that, I think he just knew that there's just no point losing the scorpions for no reason. So really passive first turn for both of us. Going into turn 2, he obviously got his 10 points of primary and a terraform. He drew secure and cleanse. So he cleansed the right-hand objective or his left-hand objective plus the middle. The avatar ended up moving to the middle. I want to say the Wayleaper was jumped over as well. He had his Wraith Guard. I think the Wraith Guard... Did the Wraith Guard move out? I can't remember this bit. I don't think so. And yeah, again, played a passive. And in return, I ended up scoring, obviously, again, 2 objectives plus a terraform. I got engage and sabotage. So the ground climber touched a bit of terrain here on the left, got me sabotage. He also got me engaged in this. Let's change the color so we can actually see the difference. So he ended up getting me engaged in that quarter. The beast dropped here, as you can see in the top right where Ben's hand is, got me engaged in that quarter, and then obviously I had engaged quarters as well. So yeah, so I ended up having another turn. So I don't think the avatar was in the middle, because I moved these screamers here in the middle. As you can see, I'm drawing all over them. They came onto this objective. This looks all messy now. But they're on this objective and they denied it. And then maybe it was just the Wraith Guard, actually. No, sorry, it was the Wraith Guard. Sorry, the avatar was about here, because he failed his minus on the wound aura. Because it made me almost tempted to bring Sun to go for him. But he had screened them out a bit with... I think the Hawks went up and down and basically lined themselves up here to protect him. And then I think he had the Wraith Guard on here, and Wartuck might have swung over again. But yeah, and then going into round 3, obviously my sabotage went off with the Grand Team one. He got another 2 primary points plus terraform. He then ended up getting behind enemy lines and engage. So what he did was, because this is a cool little trick he tried. So in this top corner here, let's see if I can get rid of all these lines. There's way too many lines. Let's get rid of these. So to get behind, because I was looking at it thinking, okay, he's completely screened out. Yes, he could bring Harlequins that are on that right-hand side down. But I don't know, like, I'm not too thingy about them. So I didn't know what he was going to do, but he actually ended up doing something that was pretty cool. So I'm just going to get something up here. If I can find it, that is. Because I just want to have an actual representation of this. So what he did was he had his Wind Riders, which in his second turn moved out from behind that wall over here. So he landed here. Make this a bit. There we go. So what he did was he advanced them, and I think he auto advanced them quite far. But they ended up landing here. So now what he wants to do is, I'm going to get this out as again just for myself, because I actually had to do something to stop this. But it was very clever on Ben's part. Shall X out. So what he did was he brought them all the way over from there to there. And then he was going to fire and fade them. And he was going to obviously get into my deployment zone and get onto my objective, because I only had, I think at this point, 2 plague bearers on the objective, maybe one or two. He was basically going to take the objective with his fire and fade. So I was like, oh no, that's really smart by him. So what I decided to do was rapid ingress Shalaxi. Obviously, she can come 6 or more away in my deployment zone. So I landed her about there on the edge of my objective. And I had placed in a way. So these fiends here these fiends over here were more here. So now there was no gap for him to land here. So for him to land these Wind Riders in my deployment zone for behind, they had to basically land there. Because then that means they couldn't get on the objective because they couldn't physically move enough. He can make it one on there, but I think he just decided there's no point. Excuse me. And then so yeah, so we had to use Chalaxi, which was fine. Because it stopped him getting the points, and now she was on the board. It meant now I could actually get her around. I was a bit worried about him essentially just setting up a line instead of scoring behind, but I think he just thought, no, I'd rather have the points. And I had set it up in a way that for him, he was never able to set up a line in front of her and get behind. So I gave him the option, and he chose to score the points, which, valid is 3 points. It makes sense. So now I'm going to show you, because this is where the game really kicks off, right? So going into my turn 3, I picked up the Velocore and Keeper. We end up drawing. What did we drew? No prisoners and established locus. So I didn't really have anything to score locus with. So I had those fiends that I showed you that were in the middle, and they were about. Let's just show you. So they were about here. They moved up to this edge of the building, and they heroic that way. And not heroic locus that way. I then had Nurglings and Screamers come and deal with those jet bikes, and they knocked it. They killed 2 of them. One survived. It moved away, and then it died in the next turn. So I brought Bellacore back down here, spat the Keeper out 6 away, and Chalaxi moved her way around over here. But obviously, on this objective here, as you can see, he's got the Avatar. He's got the Wraithguard, which are in more of a bit of a circle motion, kind of blocking them out. And then he's got the Wayleaper, and then over here, he's got the Harlequins with Yvraine and Visarchin ready to do heroic and all that kind of stuff. So in the shooting phase, I end up shooting the character, the Wayleaper, and killed it with Shalaxi. Bellacore shot over here and I think killed the Rangers, and then I had Fiends on there to take the objective as well. So I was hoping to knock him down to fire on primary because I was expecting to pretty much kill the Wraithguard. He did Overwatch actually with the Avatar. He took a lot of wounds. I can't remember how many. It was a good amount. I think it knocked her down to like 11 wounds or something like that. So I was a bit like, oh, that's not good. So we made our charges in. Shalaxi made it into the Wraithguard. The Keeper made it into the Wraithguard. He then heroic in with with the troops. So she was more there because again, they are kind of circled around. You can't really see it here. So the Harlequins heroic with the characters. They're a bit like this. So then Bellacore then makes a charge because now it's like a few inch charge. So he charges in like that. And ends up. So they end up fighting first. So they hit mostly into the Keeper and then a little bit into Bellacore. They take a few wounds off her, not many. And then I don't even know if they take wounds of Bellacore. I don't think they do. So then I spend a CP for precision on Bellacore and pick up both the Incline and the Visage. So I was like, cool, that's 2 of my no prisoners. That's my no prisoners gone actually because of the way. And then the Keeper, I then swung her into the Wraithguard. I was like, okay, if I can pick up 5 or 6 of them, I'll be happy. I only picked up 3 from her 10 attacks, so I was a bit disappointed by that. Then I thought, okay, fine. She's getting full rerolls here. She'll pick up loads of them. Again, she only picked up, I think, did I knock them down to 4 or 3? She either picked up 3 or 4 of them. But either way, massively underswung on both ends, and there were still too many of them to deal with, which meant he would keep the objective. I was like, oh, that's not good. And then in his next turn, he ended up getting. So he terraforming this. No. He terraformed in turn 4. Sorry. So in this turn, he drew defend and no prisoners. Defend he was going to get because I just didn't have the reach to get over there. And no prisoners he would max out on. So he would pull back with the Wraithguard, and then the Fate's Messenger, Death Jester, which was on, basically stayed on the top level of this building here in the top right. Would shoot down, plus the Avatar, plus there were some other bits, and the other characters, the farces, and they would kill Shalaxi. and then the Avatar would charge the Keeper and kill the Keeper. So I think losing both of them in the same turn really hurt. And though probably losing one was expected, I didn't make. I don't really mind about dice. Dice are dice. Yes, it's annoying and it's frustrating when the dice go against you, but we all benefit from it going for us and suffer it when it goes against us. We all do. And I had both in this game. I didn't make many 4-up ones. I barely made any 4-up planes, and I just fell over with both of them in the middle, which was just horrible. Now, Ben made a comment at the beginning of the game when I was going through my list, and when I mentioned Be'lakor, he went, "It's all right. Be'lakor protects you, but he doesn't kill anything, does no damage." So my reaction was, well, we'll see. Knowing that Be'lakor is fully capable of whiffing like a wet blanket, except this game he wanted to prove Ben wrong. So after killing the Keeper, he did actually pop into Be'lakor, because ignore the representation on the screen, it doesn't fully show how close everything was. He moved, he tagged Be'lakor because he basically didn't want Be'lakor going around doing what he wanted, which made sense. Because Be'lakor could have, because the Fiend, not the Fiend, the Mask, the troop fell back, so he spent the CP to fall back and charge with the troop, and they fell back into the objective on the right hand side and charged the Fiends that were on it and killed them, took the objective from me. So to stop me from being able to go and deal with them, he tagged Be'lakor. Be'lakor then took 8 wounds off the Avatar, so I was like, okay, that's not bad. And then I think we have a picture. Yep. So this is where the Avatar is in combat with Be'lakor. As you can see on the right-hand side, the trooper over there, they've already killed the Fiends. He's got his little farces here, the Way Leapers here on the objective. I don't know. Oh, yeah, the Wraithguard are there. So they are Wraithguard. So, in my turn to answer that, but I drew Secure No Man's Land and Assassination. So, obviously, I'm already on one of the objectives. I need to get on another one. I'm never getting to those Harlequins. I'm never eating through them. So, basically, my goal is middle. So the Grapple King one does move up here. And he basically, he minuses the toughness on the Wraithguard. And then he shoots at the bike and kills that one biker that's sitting here. Then the Fiends are over here and the Fiends are here. Basically, all move on to this objective and go and kill all the Wraithguard, but not the spirits here, but they kill the Wraithguard, which is fine. And that'll help me with secure, getting me, 12 OC on there and killing off some OC of his. Then the Avatar gets to fight before Be'lakor. Now, I didn't want to fall Be'lakor back because I just knew that was the only way I was getting assassinated if I got lucky. I was never going to be able to get to the Way Leaper. I was never able to get to the never going to get through enough of the Wraith. Like, I was never going to get through the Wraithguard and the Spirit Seer, which I was right. I killed all the Wraithguard, but not the Spirit Seer. So, yeah, I mean, we're never getting to the other characters. So I just decided, screw it. What's the point of falling Be'lakor back? Getting Overwatch and then dying on the Overwatch. The way his Avatar was throwing that Overwatch, I was too worried about it, so I stayed there. I think I actually at the Wraithguard to try and weaken them down because I thought that was more important. And at this point, I was like, okay, I hope Be'lakor doesn't die. So things about Be'lakor. I think Be'lakor's on 15 wounds at this point because he took wounds from Hazardous. So he swings at Be'lakor, knocks him down to 3 wounds. I'm like, okay, got lucky there. And then Be'lakor proceeds to do another 8 wounds to the Avatar. 2 wounds go through, like after failed saves and fate dice and all that stuff. And I know I need 2 5+, and I roll, I think, 5 and a 6 again. I already did it the time before. And in 2 rounds of combat, Be'lakor kills the Avatar, to which Ben was like, oh, that's yeah, and I'm like, that's what you get for slagging Be'lakor off. So Be'lakor pulling an absolute shift and being an absolute hero, getting me assassinate, making sure I get overwhelming force, secure no man's land. And at that point, I'm now like, okay, now I'm a lot more confident again, because losing both the keepers in one turn was just horrible. It shouldn't probably have happened, but it did. It is what it is. But then getting the Avatar with Be'lakor balanced it out. And my argument was, well, like, the fact that you're sitting there going, oh, I can't believe Be'lakor got the Avatar is a ridiculous statement, because Be'lakor should be able to. And we know he struggles sometimes. And this is what I mean. I've had him fail to kill rhinos. You will see later on in this video where he's whiffed a bit. He kills the Avatar in 2 rounds of combat. So it was with a bit of underrolling, to be fair. So that was great. And then going into, so he did actually terraform. He terraformed because he got another 2 points on terraform, and I can't figure out where he got that. Maybe I think then he terraformed in turn 3. I think it is what it is. I think he terraformed in turn 3 and he held the objective. Because then at the end of his turn, in turn 4 he was on 2 objectives plus 2 objectives plus 2 terraform, and he had that for the rest of the game. So going into round 5, he got overwhelming force and extend battle lines, to which he killed fiends, and obviously he had extend on the other side. So that got him a nice juicy 10 at the end, knocking him to 88. So I was like, oh, that's like, he'd been scoring fairly decent. Though we were neck and neck on primary, it was just on secondary. So I was like, I need to draw some good secondaries here. Because I knew I was going to get at least 10 points on the primary plus 2 for terraform. So basically, I had to try and take the middle objective, which I had enough stuff to still do it with. Still had Bellicor and all that. And then I ended up drawing it area denial. Bellicor cleared the middle. And containment, which we had the ground team on doing it. And I think I'd picked up screamers, who then dropped down on one of the sides. It might have been the top corner, and done it on the other board edge. So we got 2 sets of containment plus area denial, plus 3 objectives and a terraform, giving us 92, winning the game by 4 points. So it was a very good game to start. And this was my first game since LGT. So I was 4 weeks out, like no games whatsoever. So feeling a little bit rusty. Like I said, I can start to feel like, sorry, I can start to feel the sickness coming in. But we got through it. Ben was a wonderful opponent. I had a lot of fun in this game. And definitely found myself just not being aggressive enough. I think I just was a bit too passive. I got unlucky in the middle. I feel like I should have had that objective off him. The ref guard should have been dead, and then I can just deal with what I have to deal with. And then not making many saves and feel no pains in the middle was like, oh, great. But then Bellicor turning around and killing the Avatar, yes, massive, but it balanced it out, and it was huge, and it was a swing. It swung his way, and it swung back in my way. So fantastic game, and I want to say thank you to Ben, because it was a great first game back from a month off, and a great first game of the weekend. Going into round 2, we went into Alistair Moore, and his guard. Maybe not the most optimized guard list, but Alistair's a big guard player. I love his guard. We've got Gaunt's Ghosts, who are in every guard list. Solar, who's in every guard list. Team command squads, Tank Commander of Demolisher, Ursula Creed, 3 units of Cadians, 10 normal infantry dudes, 3 Chimeras, which all the Cadians went inside of, and then the command squad went inside the infantry, along with Solar, 2 battle cannon Lehman Russes, Exterminator Lehman Russ, which is auto cannon. 3 Grins from apparently popping up in all the guard lists now. I haven't seen them in a long time. Yeah, they're okay, I guess. They didn't really do much in this game. And Rogel Dawn, which I was happy there wasn't 2 of them. I hate Rogel Dawns. A unit of 2 Scout Sentinels, which I did say I think you should split them up, because you're losing a lot of utility by having them together, but they were cool. And then 5 Scions. So we were playing on Crucible Battle, which is, corner to half, and Purge, and I was going first. I was like, great. So we deployed fairly, not, I won't say too passively, but a bit passively. So this is after my first turn, which we got recover and is this? That's the wrong game. That's why So I got no prisoners and area denial. So I deployed everything around Bellicor, slightly shuffled everything up. Obviously, the Keeper and all of these fiends here, because this is a great spot to sit in, because I can threaten the middle while also just being untargetable. The Screamers jump from this building here on the bottom left up here. I kept 1 guy out to do area denial, and then the other 2 troll back, and I was within Bellicor's range, so he would have to get close to shoot me. And then the Great Unclean one stayed within 6 of Bellicor, because I just didn't want to get shot for no reason. So going into his turn, he got recover and cleanse. So the Sentinels, which he had scouted and then moved up, did cleanse on that objective. He cleansed up here with might have been I think it was the ghost, not the chimera. I think the chimera advanced. Again, pretty passive. No kill for either of us in turn one. I don't even think he shot his chimera. I think, yeah, he didn't. I don't know why he didn't, but he didn't. This chimera here, sorry. He didn't shoot them at the screamers. So I guess he didn't want to get too close. I don't know. Going into round two, I scored obviously hold one, sorry, and we got no. We got containment and overwhelming force. So screamers did overwhelming force up, not overwhelming force. Sorry, containment up in this corner. Did we get 6 on, or just we did get 6? Where did I contain it elsewhere? I want to say I was with a beast. I think I might have dropped the beast down somewhere. Oh, sorry, I know exactly where I got it. The beast dropped. You can't really see it, but the beast dropped down here on this side of the board, behind this little build on the side of this little building here with the 3-inch deep strike. And then again, he died instantly, like he had already died in the older game. He come down, got me engaged, and then died. But he never really survived and went back up in wound, but that's fine. 65 points to get me a few points. It's not terrible. And then I think this just shows it. Yep. The keeper came forward. She smashed the crap out of the 2 sentinels and killed them both. I kept her within range of Be'lakor. And then what I did with these 3 streamers is I zoomed them over here. And then I think, I don't know if I've got the picture. I haven't. So this tank here was actually here. So I made a charge. I trailed back a little bit so I could make the charge. I only rolled a 4 on the charge, which helped me. So one guy could make it into base contact with the tank. The other 2 went around it or went to the other side. I'd kept one on the left-hand side towards the Rogel Dawn, 3.2 inches away. So when I made my piling, I still couldn't make it into base contact with the Lehman Russ. None of my combat didn't do anything. I wasn't planning on doing anything. And then again, I then took my consolidation. And when I rounded into the Lehman Russ, I didn't get into contact with the Dawn, but I basically got in a spot where the Dawn couldn't get past them because it was going to cross the base, which means or get within an inch of the base. And obviously can't move through an inch of the base. So I was keeping this side basically locked down so they couldn't come and shoot the keeper. Obviously, this tank here was going to get to do it, but that's fine. I can take one tank. There was another tank on the other side, but he decided he just wanted to fire that into the beast. And then 3 of my fiends to come over here, jumped on this chimera. Ended up taking a few wounds off it, but the idea was we just wanted to take the objective, or contest the objective just to stop any potential hold more. And again, just hold him down, stop him from doing what he wanted. This chimera, we had nothing to go chuck onto it, so we just left it alone. So yeah, we're in an okay position. The keeper's in a pretty nice position. He then draws, he gets his recover that he got in turn 1, and then he gets containment and extend. He took the objective here on the bottom right back. And then containment, I think he did it with, I think he done it with something like Gaunt's Ghost down the bottom, I think. The other thing to say is when I killed the Sentinels, he used Strat to bring them back, and they would come back over here later in the game on that side, towards the right, on his back line. So, yeah, so he couldn't really move out, which was good for me. This Demolisher would take shots at the keeper. The Chimera plus the firing deck would shoot into her, and I took a few wounds off her, but nothing she really cared about. I think it was like 6 wounds. So we're in an okay position. And then into round 3. So we ended up getting hold and kill. He got hold and kill. Going into round 4, round 3, I got hold more because we were on the 3 objectives. He didn't take it, which really confused me because remembering he has a chimera here, you can't really see it. And there's guys inside of it, and he never brought them out. And I don't know if it's because he forgot it, because I forgot they were there as well, to be fair. Or yeah, I don't know. So he never brought them out. So I was like, okay, fine. Excuse me. So going into the next round, we got behind enemy lines and storm a hostile objective. So again, we ended up getting 4 points on storm. So I think we again brought more fiends over this side to deal with them. And then I think this is the turn where I kind of went, yeah. So I can show you kind of what happened here. So as you can see, he's put the Chimera here to block me out, so the ground king wants to come in to charge it. Actually, this is his turn. So the Chimera was actually more here. My Fiends failed like a 5-inch charge to get into it, which was annoying. Chilaxi went into the Dawn. Keeper went into this tank here that was there. It hadn't moved over, but it was in front of her. And then Bellicor charged the tank commander here. And then the keepers down on this side had charged a unit of guys here. This unit of Fiends had failed a charge into the guardsmen that were here. In hindsight, it actually was a decent thing because it meant I had another wave of Fiends to come and do something. Now, I had 3 tanks tucked in. I was on that objective there. I was expecting to swamp the Chimera. We didn't. Fine. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get loads of stuff here. Proceeded to actually not get that much. So she actually left the Rogel Dawn on 2 wounds because she had a bit of a whiff. The keeper knocked the wounded Dawn because I had shot at it as well and left it on 3 wounds. And then Bellicor left the tank commander on 5 wounds. And then the Fiends down here, though they took the objective, knocked the guys down to the unit down to 2 guys. So we actually had no kills in my turn. I was like, oh, great. Like, if I had killed at least 2 of the tanks, I would have been in a good spot. I would have been comfortable. Now, I don't know. So he fell back the Lehman Russ, the Dawn in combat, the commander in combat. I think he was like, he knew they were going to die, but he wanted as much shots into her. Obviously, we've got these Sentinels here, and then we've got this Exterminator. All of it shot at her, finally killed her because she was on like 6 or 7 wounds at this point. So she went down, getting him a kill. But then Shalaxi killed the Rogel Dawn, and Bellicor killed the tank, getting me 2 kills. Which then he did kill. He did kill the Fiends down here. So where did I get another kill? Because I got another kill and I can't remember where I got it. I can't remember. I got another kill. Did I kill that? No, I didn't kill that tank commander. Was I got hold one, hold more, kill more. I killed something else and I don't know what I killed. Um, what did I kill? Oh, Gaunt's Ghost. How did I kill Gaunt's Ghost? Oh, I think Bellacore shot at them. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bellacore shot at them and killed them. Bellacore shot at a unit and killed it. I think it was Gaunt's Ghost because they're gone at this point. So that's what it was. Anyway, I got 3 kills. He got 2 kills. So we got again better on the primary there. And he got hold and kill. Going into round 4, we get hold 1. Yep, hold 1 on war because we didn't hold more at this point again. We would draw Secure No Man's Land and Assassination. Chilaxi wheeled round over here. Killed 3 because she was on her own with shooting, charged in, and killed all but, I think, Solar in the unit that was on the backfield. I think I took the big shots at Creed, and my whip went into, or her whip went into the guys. Killed 5 guys, I think, with the whip, and then ended up charging in and killing the rest of them, but leaving Solar. And then so that's how we got, and then we were on the objective here. I think the Fiends came on, or the Fiends over here, sorry, came on and took this objective off of the dudes that would, Ogrins that would come on. And then we would get kill and kill more. In his turn, he would get sabotage, which he did with something, and I can't remember what it was, but I let him have it because I was like, at this point now, I'm focusing on my own thing. He got Secure No Man's Land, which he got because he finally got the guys out that were here onto this objective, took it off me, and then again he wheeled the tank around and got over here. Because then we pushed his backfield objective basically with Bellicor and Chilaxi. And then in my turn, my last turn, I'll get hold 1, hold more, kill 1, kill more again. Plus cleanse, which again I killed. I can't remember what came up on cleansed. There's a ground claim on cleansed over here. We killed stuff. What did we cleanse with? I think I happy down into play. I happy down into play bearers, and they came over and they landed on it because I had just enough to get 1 guy on 3 inches away, and then we killed the rest of the guys. I think Bellicor came back over and dealt with them, and then he got engaged for 2 because he still had the Sentinels, which I decided I just wasn't going to go for. He had the tank, and I think he had the 2 guys still because I didn't deal with them. They kind of ran away. and I only had the Fiends, which dealt with the Ogrins, and then I think he just blew them over that way with an advance and got engaged. So yeah, overall, pretty good game. 9964 ends. I'm trying my best to remember this as much as I can. But yeah, and Alistair was an awesome guy. Very loved his guard. Like, I love my demons, but very much a thematic, more of a action caring player than a all out competitive player. But guard is still a tough matchup, so we still got to play it. So yeah. So going into round 3, we got Josh Wood of Trash Wargaming. Don't let the name fool you. They're not generally trash. And guard again. So I was like, oh, fantastic. And this was definitely much more of a an optimized guard list. So we had Launch Ghosts again, Solar again, a Tempestus command squad, plus another platoon command squad, and another tank commander with a Demolisher, 10 Cadians, 2 units of 10 Catachans, 2 units of 6 Bulgrids, which I was like, oh, great. 2 Dawns, which again I was like, oh, great. 2 units of 10 Aqualans. I was like, here we go. Now we get to play these things that everyone keeps moaning about. And Scion's Flash. So we won the game 97-82, another close game. I'm just finding that I'm struggling at the moment trying to deny primary, but it is what it is, I guess. And then go on to here. So we've got the breakdown of the deployment here. So with his redeploy, I think I went first again. With his redeploy, Launch Ghosts, I can't remember where they went. They went somewhere. Might have come back in his deployment zone, I can't remember. So I ended up getting in my first turn. So we're playing, before we set up, we're playing Search and Destroy, which is the bubble. And we're playing, Take and Hold with the 4 objectives in the middle. So it's all about how many objectives can you hold. Going second as well. I was a bit worried about this, I can't lie. So going first, we basically moved the ground claimant up. I think Be'lakor came this way to just try and hold it. And then I had Fiends come here because we drew Locusts and Prisoners, which... Oh, sorry, I went second, not first. I don't know why I thought I went first. So I went second. So never mind. So he pulled that Dawn up here, and the tank commander. I think he could get the Dawn within range of the ground claimant, but not the tank commander. Or could he? I don't remember. Anyway, the Bulgrim came up, they got the extra movement, and they ended up charging the Nurglings, killing them, and then piling back onto the objective. And then he pulled these guys out here, I think. Did he not? Did he leave that objective? I can't think. I can't remember. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm trying to think how I took this. See, this is the problem with not remembering. Let's look at the next picture, see if that jogs my memory at all. Nope, that's too advanced. Anyway, so I got no prisoners containment, which I think the Screamers came out here, and no, because I don't think the Screamers did. I think the Screamers. No, they must have. Okay. They must have. Okay. So the Screamers, and I think, came over here to basically deny the objective of them. I think the Fiends then might have come out and done. These Screamers came over here, and I think they did containment there. And then no prisoners. We scored 2 points on no prisoners. What did I kill for no? I think that was it. I think some Canadians came onto this objective. The ground clean one came up, and I think Be'lakor also came up just to, I think I just tipped it with the ground clean one. Get them with the 6 of Be'lakor, shot the Cadians with both of them and killed them. That was it. The keeper, because I knew she was pretty much safe, I think basically came here because of the movement and getting around to get line of sight. He just wasn't going to be able to do it. Oh no, sorry, she didn't. She came over here. I think she actually did containment. They advanced onto the objective. So he then, in his turn, came over with these guys to take the objective. Don't want to do too much. And these guys basically decided they were going to shoot at the Ground Clean one. These Borgwins came out. They would charge into the Ground Clean one. But the Ground Clean one then just done what Ground Clean ones do and tanked everything. So I took the shooting from the guys, took the charge from the Borgwins, and ended up surviving. I want to say surviving like 6 wounds or something like that, and then ended up killing like 3 Borgwins. I was like, "Go on, fat boy," and ended up taking the objective. I scored 15 primary points turn 1, turn 2, and I don't know how I did it. Because obviously I had the guys, I had the Ground Clean one here. I hate not remembering any. Um, did he just play passive and knock him out for those screamers? I can't see that being a thing. Surely not. I do know that I did rapid ingress Galaxy down in his turn 2 within the keeper's shadow bubble, and then in my turn 2, he came up and killed that tank, which is what we've got here. So obviously the keeper came out and around. Let's get the pen out. She came out and around, and she would go and kill the 10 dudes that were there with shooting in combat. Chilaxi zoomed up that way, killed the Rogue Dawn. I did have these fiends here. Oh, I tell you what, I think these fiends were on this objective. Ah, that was it. I charged into the Rogue Dawn. That was it. I remember now. Sorry, the Rogue Dawn that was there. I charged into it with the fiends, and he couldn't get rid of the fiends. Couldn't get onto the objective. That's how I had that objective. That's where my 5 points from the primary came from. And then they were 2 of them left, came over here. Now, what I wanted to do was charge him in here to the Dawn, tag it so it couldn't come out and shoot me. But I'm an idiot, and I forgot to charge, so whatever. But yeah, as you can see, we've still got this Borgwin here, but we had 10 more characters come on. Bellicor came on because he was going to charge into him, but didn't need to. Ended up shooting them. I actually think I ended up. So I had the chance here. Was it Borgwin? Either way, I was going to use Bellicor to help him out. Shot into it with the Ground Clean one. He was killed, and I Bellicor couldn't hit the charge. I was like, damn it. I think it was the Borgwin. Borgwin came out here and dealt with the Screamers. No, because the Screamers down here. What the hell did I deny it? Sorry, I didn't even hit the objective. I didn't come out into that objective. I kept back. It was here. I had this objective here with the Ground Clean one, obviously my backfield, and then this one here that Sluxes on. I had it with the Fiends. That was it. His Borgwin came out to protect it more. He did drop the Aqualands in my backfield in his turn 2, I believe. And then I then went back with the Fiends, charged into him, and just dealt with them over a couple turns. And in my turn 2, I think he rapid ingressed the other unit down here, which surprised me. But then I just charged it with the Screamers. That's why this unit of Fiends here is the way it is, because I kept my options open for charging any rapid ingress that would come near my backfield, and just trying to protect it as much as I could. So we had both Aqualand units tagged up. We were ready for anything like Scions to come down. And then in his, so this is where obviously we had his Aqualands tagged up, and we would eventually kill them over most of the turn. I think we left one guy here, and then the Fiend would actually. I didn't want to let the unit res for the strat by killing it, but then he ended up losing the Scions and res them back instead. And so in round 3, as you can see, Josh had a consistent 10, 10, 10, 10 on his primary because I always let him have this objective up here with the Borgwin. And then obviously he had his backfield. I did get a bit greedy. So Shalaxi, the Tyrant Commander that was there would come over here. Shalaxi would go around it, deal with the Dawn. And at that point, she got Overwatch as well. So she's on 2 wounds at this point. But she killed the Dawn. And I think the Dawn exploded as well, took some wounds off everyone. The Bellicor would go and kill the Tank Commander, which was good. He made up for the last round where he couldn't kill it in one go. And then I basically got greedy and was like, I'm going to just try and give him 5 on primary. Went into with Shalaxi, charged the guys up on the objective, killed them, blah, 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 took the objective, and then he used his command at the start of the fight phase to up the OC, so he then held it still, and I was like, oh, damn, I got a little bit greedy. But it is what it is. So in turn 4, he ended up having containment and storm, which he got 6 on containment. I think he did it with 5 Scions and might have been the Borgren, whatever. And then in my turn, again, I got 15, 15, 15, 5 because we were just, at that point, we overwhelmed him. the 10 Scions and their command squad came down here, shot at the plate bearers that were on the objective, killed them, but it's sticky. Obviously, we had it. We brought the beast down just to keep the screen going. Keeper came back down because we obviously had these screamers that came over here and held the objective. Keeper came down, ended up wiping most of the squad. Killed the normal squad that would come back for a CP, and then she would deal with the command squad over the next turn. And then in Josh's last turn, he could assassinate, but he'd already killed Shalaxi. He couldn't get it. Bring it down. He knew he couldn't have got the ground clean one. Or because at that point he just kept healing now because he's having turns of just battle shocking and passing. Bellator and the keeper would just have too many wounds and were just going to be too hard to bring down. We got 5 on extend because again he had his backfield, plus he also had Borgwins on that left. And then in my last turn, I would get my last 5 on primary. Plus, I would get extend, which were all over the place. I would get that easy, and behind, which I think I threw Bellator and Screamers back there, Beans, whatever it was, and pulled out the 87-82. So a good win to end the day with. At this point, I am in absolute broken mode. I'm tired, my knees and my elbows and my shoulders are aching. I jump in my car and I literally sit there for about 5 minutes because I am just not feeling very good. I drive out to the hotel, I get myself some food on the way back, I get into the hotel, eat my food, and then I dive. Unfortunately, not long enough. I think I fell asleep for 2 hours, woke up, and then I was up from 1 o'clock onwards. Ended up going through a drive at 3 o'clock to try and tire myself out. Didn't really work. So nothing I had Custodians, which everyone says Custodians is a great matchup for Demons, and that's cool. It kind of showed to me that they probably are going into this next round. I just have a bit of a hatred for Custodians. They're my boogie army. I don't like them. So I was going into the round don't want it. We went back to the table against Ben Archer and his Custodians. So he had double blade champions. One of them had A enhancement. I can tell you what it does. I don't even want to pronounce it. He was running Shield Host. Lethal 5 is going to be painful. And we had Valerian, who seems pretty good. 5 normal Custodian Guard. Sisters Rhino, which he had the 5 Witch Seeker Flamer Sisters inside of it. 2 units of 5 Wardens and a unit of 4 Wardens. A Grav Tank, 5 Prosecutors, which is the Bolter Sisters. 3 Venatari, a Calidus Assassin, and Draxus. So, yeah, Draxus, we used to a lot of this, the Warden Bricks, Draxus, Calidus, all that crap. But as you can see, we did just beat it. We won 96-25. I feel sorry for Ben. He was saying to me when I walked up to the table that he's not used to being 3-0. I think he said that he's normally like a 2-3-ish type of player. He's only been playing here. So he smashed it to get to 3-0 at that point. But I knew as much as I hit the Cassidy matchup and I give it big that they're horrible, part of me kind of was like, okay, I think I'm okay as long as I play the right kind of game. We are playing what's it called? We're playing Search and Destroy again and Burn the Trust, which is god awful. Hate Burn the Trust. And we're going second again. I had in my head that we went fast all of my games, but obviously I didn't. So we did go first. It's because I'm looking at the wrong one. We did go first, sorry, yeah. So we did go first. Which I was a bit like, okay, this is going to be interesting. But as you can see from the game breakdown, it went pretty good. So we deployed, I don't want to say aggressive, but not too passive either. So we deployed with the Grand Clean one, and she actually did something to board this game because with just the Beast in reserve, because again, if he just full sends his Wardens at me, I'm in trouble. So he had reserve, I think he put the guard, Draxus and the guards, plus the Venatari, and then he set up 2 units of Wardens in these L's, or their small L shape, and then the other Warden's got on the other side, which is basically his version or his side of this one over here on the top. So going first, I just pushed the Grand Team on that. I didn't get into any of the objectives. I accepted basically a zero turn primary because they were just like whatever, or just a 2 because we did guard. We had the Nurgles sitting on the back foot with the Playbearers. The idea was the Playbearers were going to sticky it and then go away and let the Nurgles screen it and hold it or guard it. We didn't actually need to use the Playbearers in the end, thankfully. But yeah, so we were guarding it with Nurglings in my turn 2. But yeah, we moved up. We did screen the Grand Clemon with the Fiends, just so if he wanted to charge, he wasn't going to get to shoot me. So if he wanted to charge me, whatever. He would clear the objective up there with the Screamers on it, event like in his turn. But I was basically ready to react however I needed to. We ended up getting extends, which we did with the Screamers up there. Overwhelming, we just lobbed. And then in his turn, he had Storm, which again, he went and took and killed those Screamers up there. Then in my turn, so he didn't guard, and I didn't even think about guarding. He didn't think about guarding until the following turn. He was like, oh shit. I was like, oh crap. But we guarded with the Nurgles, got 2 points for that. And then in my turn 2, I had recover, which I think I did. What did I do recover? Oh, that's what I did recover with. I need the picture up for this. So, as you can see, we got quite aggressive. So the keeper ended up moving out up here. We then uppy down his Be'lakor and Shalaxi. We dropped Shalaxi down within range of the keeper, and then we dropped Be'lakor here. And we basically just shot all of them into the Warden squads, killed a few of them, and then charged Shalaxi and the keeper in, and they wiped the squad plus the Blade Champ, which was nice. So we took the objective off him. Now we have 3 Screamers here like this, and then we did drop the Beast here. I think we used Denizens to drop the Beast. And so the Beast recovered and the Playbearers recovered. And then the Ground Clemon moved to the objective up there, basically taking it off him again because he. Oh, that was a point. Oh, he didn't kill the Screamers, so I can still see them. I think he then just. I don't know why he didn't go and kill them, but he just moved onto it and took it off them. But then I moved the Ground Clemon on and took it back off him. So we kept him down to 0 primary again. Just his guarding when he would eventually, or his guard in turn 3. And then in his turn 2, he got. So when I done all this, he actually, behind this building here, on the right-hand side, he dropped the squads with the Guardians through Rapid Ingress, and then also the Venatari, because they can Rapid Ingress for free, even if it's already been done. And they dropped behind it, so he was going to reply to me down here by doing that. So in his turn 2, he got area denial because I had basically used these fiends to stop this unit of wardens here from coming through at the Ground Clemon. So instead, they just came up to the middle, came up here, and took the middle. And then, yeah, so like I said, we charged him, we killed all of his stuff. He then got area denial, but what he did do, apparently I haven't got a picture. Oh, I've got a picture. Okay, so this is at the end of it. I didn't take a picture. I tried my best to take pictures. I've forgotten. So I need to talk you through this because this was pretty insane what happened. So yeah, we ended up getting our recover and all that, and obviously we had cleanse. He got area denial in his turn 2, so he actually then came out, shot the Cladius at the keeper, took a few wounds off her, shot Grixis' squad at her twice, plus the Venatari squad at her, plus some stuff here, and then the Calidus dropped here just the other side of the Rhino. I think it flamed at her, but didn't really do anything. Then he charged Draxus' squad, so I'm going to draw the circles roughly. So they charged like really poor circles, I know. I did my best. I forgot to take the pictures. They're like this, so one of them gets on the objective this side, they get like this. That's the squad. Actually, the heroics there. Now, I had 3 CP. Obviously, the Calidus makes it +1 CP, so I only had enough to heroic, not enough to heroic and interrupt, like I normally would have. But she heroic there. Then the Venatari jumped over, changed their color. And they charged here, tagging like 2 of them went into Shalaxi, 1 of them into the keeper. And then, so he then fought the whole unit of, I think, 1 Custodian Guard went into Shalaxi, the rest of them plus Draxus went into the keeper. Poor Ben undershot his lethals and only got like 2 of the 5 2 lethals on 5s. And only done like 5 or 6 wounds to the keeper, to which I only fell 1 of them. Sorry, I think we filled 2 of them, but passed 2 Feel No Pains. And then the Venatari, 2 went into the keeper, 1 went into Shalaxi. Did nothing to Shalaxi with anything, and then did no wounds to the keeper. And I was like, wow, okay. And I think he was like, what the hell? And for me, he was like, with the defensive buffs that she has and the swing, not swinginess, but hitting on 3s, winning on 5s, blah blah blah. Even with the lethals, like if his lethals pop, then I'm in trouble. But I had a feeling that she would part and she would survive. And not only take a couple of wounds. Like I thought she would take like be down to like 2 or 3 wounds by the skin of her teeth, but she absolutely tanked it. The bit that surprised me was so I basically started with the keeper. She swung at the Venatari because I was like, if I can kill the Venatari, that's awesome. If I only kill 2 of them, then Chatsy can try and finish them off because I wanted to try and hold the objective. And I needed to kill the Venatari to do it. If I killed them, then the most I had was 2 OC from the Rhino, plus the 4 OC of the Sisters, which is 6, and then plus 3 more from the 1 Custodian Guard that was on there, which is 9. Obviously, I'll have 2 5s, which is 10, so I would hold it. So the keeper turned and hit the Venatari. I start with the claws, hit with all of them. Right, my wound rolls, winning on 4s, strength 6. Winning on 3s. Roll 3 6s, which is 3 devastating wounds and 3 damage apiece. Just pick them up without even having to force any saves. And then Ben was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. Still had my extra attacks come, like my sword to come through, but yeah. So that was good. Now, this is the bit that does get me. So Shalaxi then smacked with her claws. I think I done 3 wounds and I killed 2 of them. I think he only passed 1 in one. So I was like, okay, there's 3 guard left plus Draxus. But then I put my spear through the soul piercer. Wounded with everything with the reroll, so 6 wounds. He's got 4 guys there. He makes 1 invuln, and I proceed to kill the rest of the squad. So I killed 5 Custodian guards, Draxus, and 3 Venatari with the keeper and Shalaxi, and he was just like, what? And that's what I said to her. I was like, look, the keeper's surviving. It feels bad for you, but actually, the chance of that astronomical. She's very tough. Me proceeding to pick up all of what you changed in after that now makes us feel really bad because that probably shouldn't have happened as much. So yeah, Ben got a little bit diced out there, and I held the objective. And to be honest, at that point, it was game gone. There was nothing he could do at that point. Bellacore and Shalaxi went to the middle to deal with Valarian squad, and they killed all but Valarian. And then the ground clean one was dealing with the wardens that were on that other side. And they charged him, done a few wounds to him. He then picked up 3 of them, or 2 of them, or 3 of them, I can't remember, and then just eventually round them out and won that fight over time, over 2 rounds of combat, which was also, he left the victim, which then ran away, and then we just talked the rest of it out. Because Ben was like, we know how this has gone, so we figured the rest out, got my cards, knew how to physically score them. So 96-25, a really big win, which is good because I was feeling absolutely awful, but I tried to keep the big smile on my face. But I did feel something for Ben because it was a bit of a punch in the face, especially considering he had an amazing first day, then get absolutely bounced on the wall in this game. Like he was telling me he had great dice day one, and I was like, yeah, I guess you're playing for that now. So going into the final game, hopefully I'm not ill enough that I'm making a picture of this. I feel like we're getting through this fine, and there's enough of a representation, physical representation that you can going on. But we got Kristo, Nikolov, of Team Fire and Dice, which is Byron's team. So Kristo, I just want to say was just like the rest of my opponents, I did not have a bad game, thankfully, but the way I was feeling, was great. But Christoph was an absolute gentleman to play. He really was. He wasn't confident going into the matchup. I wasn't confident going into the matchup because I've had some negative mid games. But he hates Daemons, and I get it. Looking back on it, I think for his list, my list is a bit of a bugger list. But at the same time, he's got a really good list, so he has definitely three brood lords, a prime, 6 warriors, which obviously the prime went into, 3 lictors, which we hate lictors, 3 Insurgent Stealers, which the brood lords all went into, a Biovore, 3 extra crowns, and 2 Tyrannofaces. That's a terrifying list. Terrifying list. Sorry, let me take a drink. Try not to drink on camera. Can't help it. I'm about to choke and die on camera if I don't. So as you can see, we obviously went 5-0. You already know that. 81-75, another close game. So we went first again. We were playing Crucible of Battle and Scorched Earth. So very interesting. Now, there was a point where I had lost hope. I thought the game was gone and done, and then it kind of swung back in my favor again, which was awesome. So we went first, and this is the deployment. We set up our Nurglings in the middle over here just to try and stop any kind of scouting and stuff. But we were off the objective, so he just didn't see the need to come for them. And as you can see, we sat in a pretty obvious stance. We obviously had Schnaxi on the board again, because if I get full sent on by 30 Gene Stealers, I need to fight my way out of it. So in my turn one, I think I take the smaller primary and I move the ground king one up slightly, but keep it within range of Bellacore, so I can, which is what we've got here. Yep, so as you can see, no, I don't think this is it actually. Yes, no, this was, yes, sorry, it is. I did move him up slightly, still within 6 of Bellacore, but outside of 18 of the Tyrann effects, so I didn't want to needlessly take the shots. So Kristo just sent a unit of Gene Stealers at me, because I had moved my 6 Fiends in front of my Keeper and Chancellor just to screen them out. But he was going to lock me in and force me to be stuck there. Now, he did kill this unit of Fiends that were on this side. The other unit of Fiends proceeded to kill 9 Gene Stealers, and I was like, awesome, well done, Fiends, good girls. To which he was like, shit, that's not good. And then the keeper would finish off the guys in front, but I had to play passive. So he ended up getting recover assets, extend battle lines, which were great secondaries with the way he played the first round. So I was immediately on the back foot. I score 5 in primary. I get Locust, which I think I do what I had done in the first or the second game with the Screamers here. They moved over all this shit because there isn't as much here now. Just ignore most of this. He kept the Broodlord, and I think he kept one of these Gene Sealers. So I landed there, done my Locust, got Defense Stronghold because he wasn't going to take it off me. In his turn, he got 10 on primary, and he got Defense Stronghold and then double containment. So again, we are now, the gap is getting bigger, which is all good. He then proceeds to come and do the same thing again, but this time he runs into my unit of Fiends, my Screamers, and he kills the Screamers, but not the Fiends. He stays out of heroic range, and I don't kill as many of the Gene Stealers this time, so we are in a bit of a pickle again. Now, he had moved a Lictor up to the middle to do burn in his turn 2. So in my turn 3, that's too early. So I move the Keeper to the middle, kill the Lictor. Naxi comes in and kills the rest of the Gene Stealers and the Broodlord. And then Bellacore just positions himself out of blah, blah, blah. Now, the Keeper is in the middle. I'm like, oh, she's probably going to die, but if I can force him to bring all of his stuff out, I can try and chew through it with my stuff and then maybe just try and not overturning the tides, because we're something fall behind here. So we end up getting Extend lines overwhelming force. Extend was fine. And overwhelming force we got for killing the Lictor. Then he brought another Lictor forward. He brought his other unit 10, his last unit 10 Gene Stealers and the Broodlords. One of the Tyrann effects has come forward. I do want to say, just before this, in the end of his last turn, he set up to shoot at something. And then at the end of his turn, was like, oh shit, I didn't even shoot him because I didn't need him. I can still see the ground clean one. Do you mind if I shoot the ground clean one? I was like, yeah, go for it. Knocked it down to 6 wounds. I was like, fuck, why did I say yes? Thankfully, the ground clean one then just was left alone and just went back up in wounds again, thankfully. But yeah, so the Tyrann effects come over. This Tyrann effects come over, tipped over the bit of terrain, and then got the shoot into the Keeper. And then he moved his Prime and his Warriors, which had been screening back here, up. So he's basically going to full send, which I'm like, cool, now I've got all this to deal with. Even Deathly came out a little bit. So he charged him with he done a bunch of wounds to her. She did, again, tank. She took the Tyrannosaurus face, took some wounds, took some extra crimes. The extra crimes didn't really do anything. She's in a really good spot at this point. She's doing amazing. I think, and I do just want to get, anyway. So ignore me. So yeah, so Juices go in, Lictor goes in, Tyrannofax goes in. He rolls the warriors, rolls a 6, and I think he realizes that he could barely get in with the 6 and was only going to get like an extra 1 or 2 guys in because he was kind of strung out. So he then re-rolled it into a 4 and failed it, to which I was like, okay, now she could survive. She survived on 3 wounds. I was like, oh my god, she's done it again. This girl has just been immensely good for me. And not just has she dragged out a lot of his big assets, but now she survived. So I just tanked on the Lictor, thankfully, because I only just killed it with the Keeper, but got rid of the Lictor because it fights first. I didn't want it to have a chance to kill her before I can do anything in my turn. Um, and then in my turn, Jalaxi comes forward, which is what this picture is. Jalaxi comes out, Be'lakor comes around. We end up drawing. So now we're starting to get 10 on primary now. We, as you can see, uppy downy the play bearers, which are down here on the bottom right. There was enough of a gap because he's got I think he's a Lictor here, and obviously Death Leaper here. So then we do reintroduce them there. Just to pick the 5 points of primary with him. Jalaxi comes in, she shoots at the Death Leaper to see if I can kill him, but we couldn't. We do have 2 fiends that have run back on my battlefield to keep her protected. She goes in, she kills the Broodlord just. He decides to tank. So she kills a couple Gene Sealers, I think 3 Gene Sealers with her claws, and then she puts a spear in. All the times, wounds him, he passes. Wounds, he passes. Rolls a 1, rerolls it into a 1, I'm like, great. Rolls another 1, he fails, he rerolls, he passes. Rolls it again, he passes. I think it's the last wound. He finally fails again. So I'm like, this Broodlord's tanked me. I need to roll a 4 plus, roll a 1, reroll it because Shatsy, roll a 5 or a 6. I'm like, oh, so I just about got assassinate. And then the Keeper managed to kill a few more Gene Stealers. And then Be'lakor couldn't kill the Tranfex, but took a lot of wounds off it. So now I'm like, okay, it's still really good game, but now we're starting to swing it back. Because now we got 10, we've now 5, 10, 10 on primary. He's now 10, 10, 5. So we've balanced that out. And we score 5 and 5 on Overwhelming Force and Extend. Not Overwhelming Force and Extend, sorry. We get 5 on Assassinate, 2 on Engage. Because that's it. So we actually dropped 3 fiends on this side up here. Behind this building, and I was just trying to raw dog a 9-inch charge into the Exocrine, see if I could just zero his primary, but we couldn't. The Golden came up here. He failed his battle shock, which then wouldn't, because he's battle shocked. Didn't matter with the primary because we were already holding. Oh, sorry, Be'lakor was on the objective as well. That's how we still held the objective because then he came round. But yeah, so we failed the battle shock. But then, having thought about it a little bit since, realized that the mission rule, not the mission rule, the mission rule was inspired leadership, which is if your warlord is outside of your wholly outside of your deployment zone, while any of your units are within 9-inch, within I think it's 9 inches of your warlord, they get +1 to their battle shock tests or leadership, whatever. He was sat literally base to base with the Grand Team one, so I was like, the Grand Team one, because I rolled a 4, which would have been +1 for the Grand Team on Shadows, and then would have been +1 for inspired leadership. So I was like, oh, so he actually passed and would have got me 2 more points on Engage. Obviously, it didn't matter, but if I'd lost the game by a point or drew the game, it would have been gut wrenching. But it didn't matter, thankfully. So anyway, so we got that. And his turn, he then brings the warriors down to plus an Exocrine, plus a Lictor, come deal with the play bearers. I thought he went overkill. He also had something else, but I can't remember. But I think he wanted to make sure he got rid of them, which he did. He overkilled them. The let's change the color of the pen. The Death Leaper ran over here. My backfield went into the fiends, killed 1 fiend, but left 1 alive. So now we're going into the last time with him going. And then in his time we kill the Tyrannofex. The Keeper's still alive. She heals, took some wounds, heals again. Shalaxi is obviously there, so we're in a pretty good position. We're now starting to lead going into the last round, but I knew that as much as I could score what I needed to score, we had to make sure that we were going to try and restrict Kristo as much as we could. So we knew he was going to get 10 on primary. I couldn't stop that. We drew, and we got 10 on primary. We burnt with the Grand King because he could never have topped it. Fine. So we then got bring it down and behind enemy lines. So The exocrine here was actually more here behind the Tyrann effect. So the keeper went over, Laxi came here. Laxi, she actually came more over here and then charged backwards. So he and the keeper both shot the exocrine, took a bunch of wounds off it. She charged into it. Keeper charged into the Tyrann effects. Keeper, Laxi charged the Tyrann effects. Killed the Tyrann effects, pulled back onto the objective, so he can just freely do anything on the objective, like burn it. And then on top of that, um, the keeper went in, but couldn't kill the exocrine, sadly, but could get me behind enemy lines because she did get into his deployment zone with the charge, so that was fine. I was hoping to kill it and then pile onto his objective, take that off him, and then just be a real pain in the butt. But then I did uppy Danny Bellacore, brought him back 6 inches away from Death Leaper, shot into Death Leaper. Kristo originally used the strat to turn a unit into lone up, but what that actually does on a unit that is only lone up, like Death Leaper, is turn it to 6-inch lone up. He decided against it, which then he realized, shit, I should have just done it. I did roll the charge because, like, well, if I didn't, because I killed him in the shooting, but I was like, if I didn't need the shooting or couldn't do the shooting, would have made the charge. I was like, okay, he probably kills him in combat. The reason I made sure I really wanted to stop this was to stop him getting 10 points on burn in his turn, sorry, because I just could not let that happen. So that's why we had to throw Bellacore backwards. Otherwise, I would love to have had Bellacore go in the middle and deal with some more monsters or sit on the middle objective. So we clicked at 81. Now I'm looking at his points going, he could still win this depending. So looking at his primary and his secondaries, I was like, okay, if he drew engage, which he then threw a spore mine up here in this top left corner. He zoomed. So he had these 4 gene sealers that had come back here. They and the warriors originally come up to try and take the objective, but he didn't roll. He rolled a really small advance on the warriors, which just about got one of the prime and one of the warriors on there, which wasn't enough to take out Shalaxi. And then he rolled the advance on the gene sealers, which didn't get them on there. So he was like, okay. Because what he was going to try and do was just try and swamp the objective and then burn this one. So he re-rolled the advance, still rolled low, so decided to go that way to get himself engaged with the gene sealers. Decided there was just no point charging Shalaxi because Shalaxi had, I think, like 17 wounds. I think she only took 3 from my own hazardous. So he didn't, because he knew that he'd charge her. The chance of him killing her, not likely. Chances of her then killing most of the unit, if not all of it, probably kills 5 to 6 of the warriors. And if I just leave the prime alone, which I can, it doesn't matter. So he decided to hold or burn. It didn't matter what he did this objective here. He did try and get that objective, couldn't. Got himself 4 and engage, bring it down. He had 1 exocrine that could shoot the keeper. She was on 4 wounds, but the exocrines had been shooting her and done nothing to her at all. He shot, did nothing, and that was fine. And so he only got 4 and engage, plus 1 on primary, or 2 units, 2 objectives for primary, or 1 primary, 1 burn. Either way, it didn't matter. We managed to hold it for 81.75. The Warriors failing that charge was quite big. But for me, I feel like I played myself into a little bit of a hole by playing passive early. By letting him hem me in. He thought I should have just full sent into the middle, which I didn't want to do because I didn't want to give him free shots at everything. In hindsight, I wish I was a bit more aggressive, but there wasn't much I could do. He played it smart, but we reacted properly. We fought through it. The keeper risk paid off, thankfully. Maybe in hindsight, I should have needed Shalaxi to deal with the gene sealers that were here, though. So yeah, it's not like I had loads of options because he was killing the small stuff. He played it really smart. We just held on. I played the coming back game through the middle was fairly smart, and then just did what I needed to do. So we ended up going 5-0, and we finished second out of 86, which was nuts, finishing above Vic VJ by, I want to say, 30 something points, and just under Andy Quaiscoin by 20 points. Because look at these scores 95, 100, 100, 100, 92. Like my scores are good as well 92, 99, 97, 96, 81. But yeah, so overall, great weekend, 5 great opponents. We finally managed to win one of these, which is the UKTC medal. So we have a medal, which we got a few years ago from winning one of the RTT pods on the Friday night at LGT for a few years ago, but they're a different medal. These are like the proper winner medals. These are the ones you get for like proper, finishing high at events, faction winning best of factions, etc., etc. And this is something I wanted for a while because it looks nice in the trophy collection as a UK player. So yeah, we finally got one, which is like the first runner up or whatever, second place. This says it in a nice way. So yes, um, overall, I'm happy with the way the list played. I think my illness made me play a little bit weird, but I guess we still just managed to come out of it. I've fairly smart. Did I play the best 40k I've ever played? No, I don't think I did. But we played well enough to get through, thankfully. So the only changes I'm really thinking about for Worlds, because I think I like the list the way it is. It does the job. Is it going to win Worlds? No. Can it get me a minimum 4-on-4 potentially if I play well? I would like to try and go positive, but I don't want to set unrealistic risk expectations. I'm going for the 4-on-4, and then we'll work our way from there. But we yeah, I think the change I'm going to make is I have 5 spare points at the end of my list. I'm going to take that out, or I'm going to add that onto the beast and just turn them into 5 flesh hounds. The reason being, nothing against the beast. I like the beast, but I wanted the more bodies to kind of just push, hold objectives, screen, move block, etc., etc. And then I can always take one of the units of screamers and use them as a drop down. Otherwise, I really like it. The list does its job. The keeper is amazing. She was my MVP. Had quite a good weekend. She actually, after the first game, pulled a shift and done her job. Right team one, as always, amazing. Fiends were good. Screamers were good. Playbearers were decent. Everything did their job pretty much. So, yeah, amazing result. My first ever 5-0 at a major as well, which has been a long time coming. I've had a pretty good run at majors this year, a lot of 4-on-1s, but yeah, managing to get that 5-0, especially before Worlds, is a big confident boost. I might get one local GT um, in either next weekend, I think it is. But we will see. Otherwise, yeah. So overall, really happy with the list. Had 5 great games, 5 great opponents. Just a team that wasn't too well, and I've come out on the weekends suffering badly, but it is what it is. Small price to pay. So yeah. I might do a video where I look more into one of the games and do a bit more of a list analysis. Hopefully this wasn't too rushed. I don't feel like it is because it's gone for like an hour and 20 minutes at this point. I feel like I've tried to get through the games as much as I can with the memories that I have of them. Fingers crossed is good enough. But yeah, so thank you for tuning in as always. Leave a like and subscribe. It helps the channel out massively. We will be starting up YouTube memberships soon. I have set it up. I don't think you can actually join it yet. I don't know. Confusing. But there might be an option to join it. You can if you wish. It's just there because the option's there and some people have asked for it, but I don't think we're fully in there yet. And then check out Facebook, Instagram to keep up to date with everything True Demon Lord. And keep up to date with me as I lead my way to the World Championships in Atlanta in literally 2.5 weeks, which is, yeah, I think that is even that close. So thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you all in the next one.